we're getting a fair amount of comments in the chat around, somewhat of a negative reaction to an accusations audit, right? Like I think, let me see here. We had one person that said, I had a boss comment on my poor self-image. How would you respond to that? What do you suggest? And we got another person that said they've had a similar experience where they've had people ask if something wrong with you, or has even prompted direct phone calls from other people after the accusations audit was used on a conference call. And so, Professor, I throw it to you first in regards to what would you surmise is the reason that they're getting that type of response, and then how would you react in the moment? What would you suggest at a high level?
There's a couple things. I mean, number one, first of all, if they ask you about your poor self-image, one of the purposes of the accusations audits is to get them to step to your side. So they are, on some level, are stepping to your side if that's a response. So that's not wholly bad. Now, the other thing I'd ask you to consider a lot of times is what's your tone of voice? And there's some interesting thoughts. There's a difference between deference and groveling. And you're just going to have to think to some degree about that. I mean, I can be extremely deferential and extremely strong at the same time. I remember listening to an interview of an old interview of Frank Sinatra, and the interviewer was saying, like, you seem fearless. And Frank Sinatra said, I was constantly afraid. And he said it just like that. Now, he didn't sound scared. As a matter of fact, he sounded completely confident. But he said he was scared. So, there's context here. How are you delivering the news? Your boss is on your side. Your boss wants to see more confidence and deference simultaneously. So there's some fine lines here to learn and to be informed by. Every single response somebody gives you makes you smarter in the moment. Look at what the data is telling you. It's probably telling you things on a couple of different layers is what I'd ask you to consider. Graham, what did you think?
No, I think that's good. I think that fits. Just a couple of things to keep in mind. Just always remember that, unless you know for a fact your approach to the accusations audit is you probably think, you probably feel. And the tone of voice has to come with that. If you've done all that and you still get this, you got poor self-image or whatever it is, that whatever response you might get, then your backup is always going to be to label what they said, label the dynamic in the moment. And so if the point of the accusations audit is to mitigate all the negatives and their response is, you got poor self-image, my first thought is, sounds like I was being too hard on myself. Right? Are they confirming that all that is in fact untrue? I don't feel like you're probably this or maybe that. That sounds like I was being too hard on myself. Or simply, sounds like you don't feel that way at all. Right? And genuine curiosity at the very end of those labels. Sounds like you don't feel that way at all. Sounds like I was being too hard on myself. That's how you follow up. That's how you respond in the moment. Label the dynamic.